Alright guys, so I want to demonstrate this skill because it's one that I think is important, and that is how to field reload a shotgun shell. This is a great technique for survivalists, for bushcrafters, hunters, trappers, anybody who uses a shotgun or has it with them. We can find shotgun shells out in the field from hunters or other people in the area, and if we find good usable shotgun shells, we can collect these up and actually reload them fairly easily if we have all the ingredients. This is just a high brass shotgun shell. We've already taken the liberty of cutting off some of the crimping at the top with our knife. That way this will actually fit inside the chamber and shoot as we want it to. And you'll notice that the primer is already knocked out of this one. It's a spent shell, it's empty, and it's ready to go. We cut a stick that's going to act as just a basic toggle that we can use to actually reload this as well. Now to reload this, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need shotgun primers, all right, to fit down here so we can actually shoot this bad boy off. We're going to need powder. We have our powder horn. This is black powder, Pyrodex RNS powder. It's a lot more forgiving than smokeless powder. With smokeless powder, we're going to use a smaller ratio of powder size in here with traditional shotgun shells. But with black powder, we still get that velocity and that push out of the barrel, but it's a lot more forgiving because with smokeless powder, you tend to overcharge these shells and it can ruin the barrel and put a hurt on us. So we use black powder because it's a lot more forgiving. Next, we're going to need overshot and overcharge patches or something similar that we can put in here. We could actually use just wax paper or anything that's going to fit inside the shell that will go over the shot and then over the actual charge of the powder. That way we separate those and we get that push out of the barrel that we're looking for. And so we've got a piece of leather in there that we're going to use as our overshot to cap the entire shell off, and then you notice those pieces of paper in there that we have cut. We're going to use those for our overcharge. That way we separate the powder and the charge, so we have those. And then lastly, we're going to need shot. This is just number 6 shot. You can buy it in a 25-pound bag, and we can take this lead shot, put it in here, or we can even melt this to create the larger shot size and collect that up. But these are the things we're going to need to actually create another field loaded shotgun shell that we can take with us and shoot to go hunting with. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is set the primer. We've got a good hard anvil here that we can use to actually get this primer set. We're just going to put it right on top, and we can push it down with our thumb. It's a little bit difficult though, but this should be flat enough that we're not going to set off the primer as we do this. Alright, you can see the primer is started. We've got it in there. We're going to use our little toggle we made earlier and actually pound that primer in to get it flush with the brass. Find a good flat spot. We're going to take our toggle, put it right in, and we're just going to hammer that primer in as best as possible until it's all the way flush. One thing we can do to help ourselves out is always have an ammo can with that flat piece of metal to help us get flush in here as best as possible. Alright, we got that primer seated, nice, good to go. We're now in business. We're going to keep our toggle out because that's going to act as our ramrod when we load this. Now, next thing we need is a measure. We can also make our own measure out of brass. We just measure out 100 grains with another weigh or another measurement tool, but we can buy a measure itself, one that has the readings on the side so we can go up and down with our measure, or we can simply create one out of brass that is 100 grains, put a hole through it to make a lanyard and tie it off to our shot bag. But we're going to use the one we got off the shelf. We're going to set it for 100 grains. We'll take out our powder and simply pour in 100 grains until it is full, all the way at the top. Level it out. You see that powder, 100 grains leveled out. Now we just pour this right into our shotgun shell and get it all in there. Good to go. Now that we got that powder in there, we just take our toggle. We're going to pack it down nice and tight as best as possible. And now we can take our overcharge card and put it right inside. We want to try to keep this as flat as possible as we get it started, so it goes straight down like that, and we tamp it in And you can see the overcharge card down in there. And now we're ready for our shot. Now we can go 100 grains of shot. And again, this is number 6 shot. I'm going to pour it out here in the cap itself. And then what I like to do is kind of grip high on the actual measure and dump it in so all the shot gets inside. Okay. Excess goes back in. Close it off. Done with that. And then now you can see we have 100 grains of shot, number 6 shot right there. Good to go. I'll just take that shot, dump it right in. And that's it. We're going to tamp this down as well. Get it nice and tight. And you can see the shot in there. We're almost to the top. All right, so we got 100 grain powder. We got that new primer. We got the overcharge card. And now we're going to put in our overshot patch, which is just a piece of leather. This piece of leather helps pack everything down so we don't have any loose powder or shot in there, and we get a good, nice shot with this field-loaded shotgun shell. Get it in there nice and flat, or tamper, or a toggle. Hammer it down in there, and now we have one field reloaded shotgun shell. That leather patch in there keeps everything nice and tight, so we don't have to add anything extra. A lot of times guys will take beeswax and line the inside with beeswax. Because we have that leather in there, which is really tight, it's going to give us a good nice seal, and it's not going to fall out on us, especially with that crimping up at the top. So now we're actually ready to shoot this. All right, so we got our shell. Let's pop it in and actually give it a good field test. All right, shell's in, weapon's hot, good to go. Let's shoot it. All right, we're going to aim for the metal targets out there. All right, taking a look at our target, you can see that the shot peppered the center Iron Maiden target that we were aiming at. So we're right in the ballpark as far as this reload goes. We can probably take down something at relatively close range with our field reloads or our hot loads here. Good to go. Round. There's a shotgun shell. Just fired, black powder, and we're good to go. Alright guys, well I hope you liked this video, a down and dirty video on how to do a field reload for shot shell or a quick hot load. If you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you guys for everything you do for me, for this channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.